My name is Emily, and I grew up in a quiet town in Yorkshire. At 22, I walked down the aisle, not knowing how much of myself I was about to leave behind. I stepped into marriage not just as a bride, but as someone standing at the doorway of an entirely new life. Like many girls, I had dreams of companionship, warmth, and a partner who would look at me as if I truly mattered. But along with those dreams came uncertainty, not fear of one night, but fear of everything changing. Would I belong in this new home? Would I be understood? Would I still recognize myself in this new life? The wedding day passed in a blur of laughter, photographs, clinking glasses, and tearful embraces. Leaving my parents' home felt like closing a chapter that had shaped every part of me. I smiled for everyone, but inside, I was quietly saying goodbye to the girl I had been. I wasn't just leaving a house, I was leaving the version of myself that had lived there. When we reached Daniel's home, his family welcomed me with warmth that felt sincere and comforting. Still, my hands were cold and my heartbeat fluttered with nervous energy. Everything felt unfamiliar: the walls, the voices, even the silence between conversations. After the guests left and the house grew still, someone gently guided me to our room. It was softly lit, fresh sheets, a faint floral scent, and a calmness that felt almost unfamiliar. I sat on the bed, hands folded in my lap, listening to the ticking clock and the wind brushing softly against the window. Then the door opened. Daniel stepped inside and closed it quietly behind him. We were husband and wife now, yet still two people learning who the other truly was. He didn't rush toward me. Instead, he sat nearby, leaving a respectful space between us. After a moment, he said gently, "Emily, today has been overwhelming. We don't have to figure everything out tonight. Let's just breathe." His voice carried calm reassurance like warmth spreading through cold hands. I looked at him and noticed he seemed just as nervous as I felt, and somehow that made everything easier. He handed me a glass of water. Our fingers brushed briefly, and I felt a small warmth rise in my cheeks. He smiled lightly. "I think we both survived the longest day of our lives." I laughed softly, the first genuine laugh of the evening. We talked about small things: the chaotic ceremony, his tight collar, the way my veil nearly slipped as I walked. With each passing minute, the room felt less unfamiliar, less heavy, more like a place where I could breathe. Then he asked quietly, "May I hold your hand?" I nodded. His hand was warm and steady, holding mine with gentle care rather than certainty. In that moment, my heartbeat changed, no longer racing with fear, but moving with a quiet softness. "Emily," he said, "we have a lifetime ahead of us. Tonight isn't about expectations, it's about beginning. Beginning." The words settled gently in my chest. Tears gathered in my eyes, not from sadness, but from relief I hadn't realized I needed. He brushed them away with tenderness, then kissed my forehead, slow and reassuring. It felt less like romance and more like trust taking its first breath. We lay down beside each other, not as strangers, not yet as experts in love, but as two people choosing patience. My head rested on his chest, his heartbeat was steady and grounding. Outside, the night wind moved softly past the window, and for the first time that day, I felt completely still. He whispered, "We'll build this life step by step, together." And I believed him. That night was not about becoming perfect partners, it was about becoming companions. We did not rush into roles. We eased into understanding. We did not chase expectations. We created comfort. Time passed quietly. At some point, we fell asleep, still close, still unsure, yet no longer afraid. When morning light slipped through the curtains, I woke slowly. For a moment, I forgot where I was. Then I felt his arm resting gently around me, not tight, not possessive, simply present. And I remembered. This was my home now. The early morning light painted the room in soft gold. Outside, birds sang somewhere beyond the window. Daniel stirred awake and smiled sleepily. "Good morning, Mrs. Hughes," he said, his voice still rough with sleep. I laughed, shy, surprised, and strangely happy. No grand declarations, no dramatic moment, just quiet comfort. He asked if I wanted tea. I nodded. Watching him move around the room in the soft morning light felt strangely peaceful, like watching the first page of a new story being written. We sat together by the window, sipping tea in comfortable silence. There was no pressure to fill the quiet, no need to perform, just presence. And in that stillness, I realized something important. Love does not arrive all at once. It arrives gently in moments of patience, kindness, and shared silence. Later that morning, his mother knocked softly and asked if we were awake. Her voice carried warmth, not intrusion. The house felt welcoming, not foreign. I was still nervous, but I was no longer afraid because I knew I was not alone in this beginning. When I look back now, I don't remember fear. I remember gentleness. I remember patience. I remember the moment two strangers chose to begin slowly and kindly. That night was not the start of perfection, it was the start of understanding, not the start of expectation, but the start of trust, our new beginning. If this story reached your heart, share it with someone stepping into a new chapter of life. Because beginnings are not meant to be feared, they are meant to be felt gently, patiently, and together.